Maido. Hi there, Japan fans. Today's show, we're going to talk about impact. Present, Master Shimasho. This is the 8th year of the Presentation Japan series podcast, and we are beaming around the world to you from sunny Minato-ku in Tokyo. I'm your host, Dr. Greg Story, Dale Carnegie Tokyo franchise owner, the president of Dale Carnegie Tokyo Training, and the 3-time best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery, which is Zaegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata Present no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni Suru no wa Yamimashou. And my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Through this podcast, I want to help you become a better speaker to be 1, clear, 2, confident, 3, persuasive, 4, highly influential with those around you. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast with your family, friends, and colleagues. We are not being sponsored by Libsyn, but we value your privacy, which is why we have our podcast hosted by Libsyn. Unlike many other hosting organizations, Libsyn have a strict policy that does not allow access to your private information by anyone. Here is our daily podcast lineup on Apple Podcasts. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series, and every second Tuesday, the Business Tachijin no Oshie show. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series, and every second Thursday, the Business Pro Podcasto show. Fridays, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast, and Saturdays, Japan's top business interviews. Now, this is episode number 404. And today we're talking about speaking with impact in Japan. Recently, I was teaching a class of technical experts to have more impact when they spoke. Like many specialists, their areas of expertise required great detailed knowledge and experience, and they have to interact with other non-expert parts of the organization. In their case, they have to report to senior management, and they also had to deal with the sales team. The brief from HR was that the senior leaders didn't take sufficient note of their reporting and advice because of the way they were delivering the information. Salespeople were also pushing back on the direction they were receiving and not accepting what they were being told either. They needed more impact when they spoke. When we started the session, we discussed with them the areas where they wanted to improve. Many people mentioned being more clear and succinct when they spoke. They felt that the complexity of what they were trying to convey sometimes made it difficult for the listeners. Also, rambling during the explanation was identified as an issue. One thing I noticed was common across the group, and that was their level of energy when they spoke. They're bringing the same voice strength they would employ when having a chat over coffee with their friend to their presentations. In Japan, this is a very typical area for more work needed where we're teaching presentation skills. When we are speaking up in a meeting or standing before a group, we have to switch gears and bring a lot more vocal range to the content of what we are saying. Not every word should have the same voice strength, though, but that is what a lot of people do. They give keywords the exact same voice power as they do less important words and phrases in the sentence. This is highly democratic, but not very useful when trying to get our message across. We need to either hit those keywords with more volume, or we need to strip the volume out and make it an audible whisper. Both will work. Applying the same strength throughout the sentence from go to woe is the death knell of messaging. Voice modulation is critical to keeping an audience with us. Listeners are so easily lost today to the allure of the internet on their phones. And if they feel disengaged, they are gone, gone, gone. If the vocal power is set at the same dial strength from beginning to end, then listeners will just tune us out as it becomes repetitious and morphs into a boring, sleep-actuating monotone. Like classical music, we need crescendos and the opposite, decrescendos or lulls. Find out more. We come back from the break. Our show today is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do them in Japanese, we do them in English, we do them in our super safe classroom, and we do them live online. The show today is being brought to you by, on the 3rd of October, our 3-day version of the Dale Carnegie course. On the 14th and 15th of October, High Impact Presentations course. And on the 18th of October, we'll do our Leadership Training for Managers program 3-day version. Our website is www.dale-carnegie.co.jp. Email me at greg.story@dalecarnegie.com. If you like learning by watching videos, then we have over 2,300 there for you at Tokyo, Japan, Dale Carnegie TV on YouTube. We release 3 shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, every Monday Tokyo time. Fridays we have the Japan Business Mastery Show, and on Saturdays we release Japan's top business interviews, where I interview leaders from SMEs right up to the corporate captains of industry on one topic, leading in Japan. Now, every second Thursday we release the Business Pro television show. Don't forget to grab my business best-selling books on Japan on Amazon. Japan Sales Mastery, which is Saegyo in Japanese, Japan Business Mastery, and Japan Presentations Mastery, or in Japanese, Anata mo Presen no Tachijin. My other books include Stop Wasting Money on Training, which in Japanese is Training de Okane o Muda ni suru wa yamemashou, and my just released new book is Japan Leadership Mastery, and all are available on Amazon. Welcome back. The problem, though, is often we have a lot on our mind and are supremely nervous. We're not even aware that we are speaking at one constant volume or in a monotone throughout our talk. By the way, this doesn't have to be a formal talk. It can happen in a normal meeting where we're presenting some results or giving some guidance on what needs to happen next. We lapse into a monotone and we are tuned out by the assembled masses. Now, the nervousness has to be a best-kept secret when we are speaking. During the training, it often happened that someone would suddenly laugh nervously during their talk as the pressure mounted within them. That laugh is a physical release from the internal mental pressure building up inside their mind. We can be nervous, but this information has to be kept from the audience because it instantly diminishes our credibility as a speaker. We were filming the talks, and for the first round, we had them do the talk facing the camera and conducted at a 90-degree angle to the audience. In this way, the speaker couldn't easily see the faces in the audience. Instead, they had to concentrate on me as the coach. Now, we sometimes do this to try to lessen the pressure of having to present to a crowd where there are lots of beady eyes and faces staring back at us. Later, when they had gained more confidence and poise, we had them give their talk directly facing everyone, and they were able to do it without looking nervous. Remember, only we know we are feeling nervous. If we don't show it, and if we speak with a strong voice, we come across as confident. And the audience will believe us. That strong voice part can be a problem, though, for a lot of ladies who speak very softly. One of the dangers is the soft voice is ignored by the executives, usually men, who they are presenting to. They lack what is called executive presence. And a big part of that is confidence, portrayed through voice strength. Fair or unfair, a meek, soft, tiny voice just won't command the attention and credibility of hard-driving male bosses. When these softly spoken ladies are presenting, and I asked them to increase their voice volume, I would ask their colleagues if they thought they were yelling. The answer would always be no. I would then ask if they thought they could go even louder, and the answer would always be yes. What a difference it made when they did. Being softly spoken, for them, it felt like they were yelling. However, from an audience point of view, they just sounded very confident, credible, and clear. We can get into a debate about whether women should have to change their speaking style to pander to men, but reality is reality. Men occupy a disproportionate share of senior executive positions in most companies, and they are an important audience for these ladies. By making a small change, they will be heard as opposed to being ignored, which was the current situation in this company. When we understand that our presenting voice cannot be at the same volume as our coffee, chat with a friend volume, we will make the required adjustments. The good news is the results are immediate, and we come across with a lot more credibility. Did you get value from today's show? If you did, then share the love around with your family, friends, and colleagues. Don't forget to subscribe and share this podcast. Until the next episode, go out there and apply the learnings from today and become a presentations legend amongst your circle. Thank you for joining me, and please tune in next week. Remember, I'm in your corner, your go-to guy for soft skills training in Tokyo, committed to your success here in Nippon.